Bitcoin price hovering around $26,000 Wednesday, September 13th, after the US CPI annual inflation comes in above expectations at 3.7%. Keep in mind, they had predicted 3.6%. So you're looking at 0.1, change. And expect crypto to respond. How is this going to impact the overall crypto market? The media is going to hype because of the politics that this somehow means that the U.S. economy is coming back, that it's not in recession, that it's going to ignore all the realities, because it's politically expedient for them going into an election year coming up next year to pump up this 0.1%, Core CPI inflation came in at 4.3%, which was in line with forecasts. So, what that means is it came in as they expected. Not much change, For those of you who don't know, the CPI is the United States Consumer Price Index data that's released by our U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. It basically is an economic gauge on the overall economy. And there are often segments within this report that will show housing, food, things like that, all the way down that you can see where it is. For example, you may not know this. In the United States of America, you are paying 12% more for auto insurance in 2023 than you did in 2022. Most people have probably felt that premium increase in their insurance tab every 6 months. People may not also know that the average United States new automobile, an auto produced in the United States, is now 22% more expensive than roughly 5 years ago. 22%. Look at the data. All right. Interest rates to finance your automobile are double. So not only is the cost of the automobile 22% higher, you're financing more, you're financing 20% more with no money down, and you are going to get stuck with finance interest rates on your loan that are twice as much as they were. And then you're also going to get the triple whammy because your property taxes on your automobile are probably higher wherever you live in the United States than they were 3 years ago. That's just a reality. Tip, lease a vehicle. Just saying, don't buy a vehicle. Right now in this market, do not buy a vehicle. Do not buy a house in this market. Just one guy, one schmuck on TikTok's opinion, So let's see the U.S. Let's look at the CPI exceeding expectations. Please. Headline inflation measured by the CPI came in at 3.7 against the predicted 3.6, like I said, year on year, rising from July's 3.2 rate, Core CPI annual inflation, which excludes food and energy, by the way, excludes food and energy. If you factor in those numbers, look out, Took a downturn to 4.3 in line with forecasts against 4.7 in July. The larger than expected rebound of 0.1, loom a hawkish message for the Federal Reserve and for the Biden administration. A hawkish message on how great the economy is in the United States. That is what you're going to hear on the news in the next 24 hours. The bought and paid for media, that is what you're going to hear in the next 24 hours. That your household pain isn't real. It's not real. It's really not. The economy is doing great. That's what their media is going to tell you in the next 24 hours, all over social media and all over the bought and paid for cable news networks, So just keep that in mind. But how does that relate to Bitcoin? Jay, how does that relate to Bitcoin? The Bitcoin price at the time continued to hover around 26,000, waiting for this number to come out, which was above some of the moving averages, We didn't want it to fall back below 26, and it didn't. It's actually staying above, because the initial expectation was this report wasn't going to meet the forecast, and that would be very, very bearish. I don't see how meeting the forecast, meeting your expectation, throws the market into a bullish state across crypto. I just don't. Not with these numbers. But you can look at it today. It's trading at a little over 26,000 and an RSI level of just around 50 on the 4 hour for those interested in that. So the reaction is pretty much what I would say a neutral reaction. At least it should be a neutral reaction. Okay, maybe some slight bearishness because of the descending patterns that we've seen in Bitcoin. But as long as Bitcoin holds that 26,000 level in the next 24 to 48 hours, I think Bitcoin's going to be fine. Trying to check this really quick. So again, take a look at some of the altcoins. Ethereum is kind of holding that 1,600 level like Bitcoin, but Matic's taking a hit. It's been taking a hit for a month now, and it continues to decline. So there's an opportunity there for those folks who like Polygon. And we'll have to take a look at that this evening in the group. Because that's going to be ridiculous in terms of that valuation for the potential, again, for that crypto. Bitcoin price is expected to take a downturn, potentially falling below 24,578. Some people are predicting. They were predicting that before this report. I'm not so sure that it's going to hit that now because this report was above forecast. So I don't see it falling back down to that 24,500 level. That would be a $1,500 move. And then potentially, if that not holding, Bitcoin falling to 21,400, below 22,000 again. So those are your bears. That's what your bears would like to see. Okay, and because then they're going to come right in and buy a Bitcoin again. That's what they're going to do. That's what they always do. And the data's there. The data's there, mates. Okay? People don't think that happens, but the whales drive the market. They will always drive the market because they have the volume and the liquidity on these exchanges to move the needle. And so they will punish. They will punish if the market gives them a reason to punish Bitcoin. They will punish Bitcoin and then come back in and buy it all up again and take it from 22 back to 26, back to 32, back to 36, back to 42. That's what they will do, okay? If the market allows that opening for them to do that. I don't think that this CPI number and this report opens that door in the inflation number, just because there is some saving grace in that they did beat the forecast. And a lot of people didn't think that they were going to beat that CPI forecast. So while it's not a glowing report on the state of the economy, it's neutral. And I don't think that they will get away with being able to sell Bitcoin and Ethereum down any more than they already have based on this number. So keep that in mind. Again, CPI rose, okay? So keep that in mind. I mean, when people talk to you, because that's what they're going to say to you, but did it really? Seems like we're in the same state we've been in now for a year, okay? With everything costing more, not just food and gas, but insurance, property taxes are being raised, home values all declining, interest rates, mortgage rates, auto rates increasing. All that does not, should not convince anyone to believe that the band's going to be playing here in a few months. I don't think not. I think it's going to be a painful fall. I don't think it's going to be a big Christmas holiday season in the United States in terms of the economy. I think that's going to weigh on stocks. That's going to weigh on the entire market for everything. So you got to be a little bit proactive here and kind of situate yourself on what you think is going to lie ahead. All right, mates.